When I look at the Philadelphia Eagles' complete draft, I do believe we took care of some needs and we definitely got some sleeper talent. In this video, we're going to talk about K'Von Wallace. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you are new to the channel and love talking Philly sports every single day, hit that subscribe button. Now, if you think getting K'Von Wallace with the 127th overall pick, a fourth round pick, is a steal, smash that like button. And oh, by the way, it helps this content and pushes it out to other Philly fans. With all that being said, let's talk about the fourth round pick. My initial thoughts on K'Von Wallace was he is a baller. The things they got out of him at Clemson, I loved it. 4 years at Clemson, and he did a multitude of things, from playing outside corner to inside corner, to edge rusher to linebacker, and mainly safety, but in a magnitude of different roles. Wherever the ball wanted to be, that's where you found K'Von Wallace, and he was an impact player on that defense. Hours after he became a Philadelphia Eagle, selected 127th in the fourth round, he was very active on Twitter, shouting out Eagle players who were on the team, letting the fans know he's ready to come to Philly and get it going. I mean, he hit up Darius Slay, he hit up other Eagles, he talked about all the teams that passed on me. You guys are going to regret it. And he's also been saying, let's go win this Super Bowl. Let's go make moves. I mean, he's been active in the Philadelphia Eagle community, with the fans, with the public, in the media already. And he has that dog in him. You can just tell that he wants to get to work right away. The fact that Jim Schwartz brought all these new pieces in, Will Parks, Jatavius Brown, moving Jalen Mills to safety, bringing the Kelroby Coleman in. These are guys who are very versatile roles. And now you bring a guy like K'Von Wallace in, who can be as versatile as all the guys I named. This could get really interesting. Like I said, you put K'Von Wallace in the slot. You put Will Parks in the slot. You put him in the back. You put Mills on corner. You put him in the back. You can mix and match this defense depending on who you're playing like crazy. I mean, you got a guy and K'Von Wallace, who, if you got a speed quarterback and you need some extra blitz packages, send him to the line because he can definitely get at the quarterback. But we're going to get into all that. I also got to say, Brian Dawkins, being the last safety that we draft from Clemson in the second round in 1996, has been public about K'Von Wallace, talking about, hey, Eagle fans, treat this guy well, and I can tell you right now, he is going to treat you well. Now, I never like to compare any young player to Brian Dawkins because he has a tough place in my heart, but I do believe that K'Von Wallace, once he gets polished and get into the system, can be a feature player on our defense. He already has that dog to galvanize a group of men. He's young. That leader role will come, and right now he just has to listen to the Darius Slays, the Fletcher Cox, the Ronnie McLeods, the Jalen Mills, because although Jalen Mills can't cover at corner as much as we think, he does have that attitude to really, show the guys what they need to do, the work ethic that goes into being a winner. He's still a Super Bowl champion, and don't forget how he got there. He played defense against Julio Jones. Good, ugly, it doesn't matter. He got it done, and you got to respect that. On that note, let's get into some of the strengths and weaknesses I noticed about K'Von Wallace's game when I watched his tape. I do like this player in the fourth round. To me, it was a steal. K'Von Wallace, 5'11", right around 200 or 206 pounds, out of Clemson. Let's talk some strengths. The ability to get downhill and help in run support.
He talked to us about this week.
O'Neal bounces off the hit, gets two.
Versatility, able to line up in the slot, the box, or play deep safety.
J.J. Hill comes back in motion. Pressure. This time they don't blitz.
Very good at blitzing the quarterback from the safety spot, in the box, or even out on the edge.
So that's a weakness that has not been exposed. They bring pressure again. That's been a staple, and they get to
a hard hitter. He'll make you pay.
Dealing with the deafening noise in one of the loudest venues in college football. Design quarterback run. And he got
in coverage, a ball hawk, and a playmaker once the ball's in his hand.
fire over the middle, and that one is picked. Taken by Wallace. This one he hangs on to. He takes to the sideline.
Let's talk some weaknesses. Although he's good in zone concepts, could work on some of his man coverage.
Jeter had his first career interception in the semi against Notre Dame at 4 tackles in a solid game against Alabama.
Sometimes he's too aggressive and bites on double moves and things of that sort. Although he's a big hitter at the line of scrimmage, sometimes he misses tackles in the second level from coming on too high and or taking bag angles.
Dobbins in the clear. Off to the races. Can they run it?
Doesn't really have the deep speed to play outside corner in the NFL. When it comes to defensive players, to me, I like when you get defensive players from big name schools like Clemson, Alabama, LSU, NFL style run schools that will get these guys ready to play NFL type defense. Play calling, tape study, all that good stuff. When it comes to offense, there's small schools all over the college conferences can produce guys who are fast, who can catch, who can do this. But when it comes to defense, it's a little bit harder to adapt to the NFL, in my opinion. And therefore, I love when you get guys out of these schools. And him being a 4-year Clemson graduate, I think there's only a little bit of fine tuning before he can get in here and make an impact. And when you look at what he did at Clemson, every year he got better. So this kid's arrow is pointing up. And that's what you want to see. An arrow that's pointing up, a guy who's willing to put the hard work in, and a versatile player who can play many roles. Because in the NFL, the way these teams are going 5 receiver sets, the way the spacing looks, the way the speed, it's a speed, spacing, and chess game nowadays. It's not just about brute strength. So you got a guy like K'Von Wallace who can play safety, who can blitz the passer, who can play the slot, who can D the running back or the tight ends coming out, do a lot of different things, could add up to him playing more reps, being able to be that Malcolm Jenkins role that we had. Because Malcolm Jenkins wasn't that big of a guy, 6 foot, 205 pounds, and he was able to do a lot of versatile things. I see signs of Malcolm Jenkins in this kid's game because he doesn't just want to stay back there and play one role. He is very versatile and he's very vocal. And like I said, I can see that dog in him with the way he plays in Clemson. And I'm ready for him to get in midnight green and see how Jim Schwartz can use him in packages. I think right now, Jim Schwartz will play him in 2020. I think he'll see the field on sub packages a little bit. You won't see him on regular base packages yet. I mean, he takes that big step, or Jalen Mills ain't who he thought he was at the safety position, and we maybe slide him down the corner. You never know then. I do believe Will Parks will get a chance to play safety as well. But K'Von Wallace is not just a strong safety. He could play free safety as well. That's a spot I did not talk about him playing, but he can definitely do that. Let's see how much better he got in college through his 4 years. As a freshman, he played 4 games, 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and an interception. As a sophomore, played 11 games, 26 tackles, 1 interception. As a junior, played 15 games, had 52 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, and an interception, and 2 forced fumbles. And as a senior, he played 15 games, 71 tackles, 3 tackle for losses, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions. My last and final thought, we did pick up Davion Taylor, and I'm not sure his exact role on this team at linebacker. But don't be surprised in our sub packages when Jim Schwartz wants to keep corners or safeties on the field. Last year, we played a lot of 3 safety looks to really, maximize having coverage and still being able to get at the quarterback. I think them packages are going to favor a guy like K'Von Wallace. I see in him do his most damage at the line of scrimmage in that will linebacker's role. That's where I can see him working the most of his magic in 2020. Now, like I said, I think he translates to move anywhere and everywhere in this Eagles defense. But the way I think Jim Schwartz and the Eagles will use him first is at the will linebacker spot, close to the line of scrimmage, disrupting the quarterback, playing in zones to the middle of the field and that type of things. I don't think they're going to have him deep as a single high safety. I don't think he's ready yet deep as a single high safety, but zone concepts in at the will linebacker spot, close to the line of scrimmage, disrupting the run game, also going after the quarterback when the blitz is not where it needs to be. Like we know, Jim Schwartz doesn't want to blitz, but but this guy could be deadly at blitzing the quarterback. Like I said, he is going to find a great role on the Philadelphia Eagles. Just early in the 2020 season, I see him being a player who comes in on sub packages, plays close to the line of scrimmage, blitzes the passer, plays some zone at the will linebacker spot, do things of that sort. But we got to wait and see. With all that being said, thank you guys for watching and all the constant support. Appreciate you guys 100%. Don't forget to smash that like button. It really helps me out. And leave me a comment. What did you think of K'Von Wallace's film, his highlights? How do you think the Eagles are going to use him early in his career, later in his career? And how do you feel about getting him at 127 in the 4th round? Let me know your thoughts. You know what time it is. We out.